So, welcome back, guys. This is Madhav PVL, and today I'm going to just discuss about this basic terms in this artificial intelligence. So, we can just say today I'm going to just say some of the words or some of the important topics which were referred to this world of artificial intelligence. So, let us just get into this. So, some important words in this artificial intelligence are big data, cloud computing, machine learning, and data science. These four words we may have heard it very well. So these four words are very important. So these are the four words. Now I am going to just discuss about the big data. So what is big data? So big data, in the sense we can just get a conclusion like big is nothing but large amount. So data is nothing but the data. So the large amount of data is known as a big data. So big data is nothing but a large amount of the data can be referred as a big data. So basically types of data in a mobile or a smartphone. So I will just explain about this big data with an example of a smartphone. So if you just consider a smartphone, it has a many types of data like audio files, video files, messages, mails, and camera files, or whatever it may be. So installation files, or it may have so many types of data in a mobile or a smartphone. So according to an analysis, 40 exabytes of a data is generated per month by a single mobile. So we can just say like a single user. So 40 exabytes of a data per month. So if we just consider 40 exabytes into 1 million phones is a big data. So we can just see like everyone is having phone, right? So calculating a huge amount of data into different parts and then providing some services is known as a big data. So considering a large amount of data is known as a big data. So we can just consider it with that example. So here it comes to a conclusion with a 5 E's. So the 5 E's are volume, velocity, variety, veracity, value. So these are the 5 E's which we are going to just concentrate. So the whole big data will be considered with this 5 E's. So let us just get into deep. So now we need to consider another example of an hospital. So maintaining an hospital is not a smallest task. So let us just consider this 5 E's with the example of the hospital. So in an hospital, the volume is nothing but the data which is given to the hospital is the patient list, medicines list, and the beds list which were available. So that can be considered as the data from the hospital which will be received by the hospital. Then we can just call it as a volume. And velocity is nothing but the speed in which the data is getting transferred or saved is known as a velocity. So if a person is standing in a line to just enter his details in the reception, if the velocity is not considered, then the data can't be stored. So big data cannot be gathered if the velocity is not good. So if you consider the variety, structured data, semi-structured data, and unstructured data. So structured data in the sense the Excel files, and then log files is nothing but the files which were maintained in the outside. So the physical, they can be scanned and they are considered as the log files. And the unstructured is nothing but the X-rays. So the X-rays are known as the unstructured types. Whereas the veracity is nothing but the accuracy and the trustworthy. So we can just say like when we just get into a shop, if the shop is well known to us, like in the sense we can just say like if it is having a good customer care or it is having a good ratings, so we will have a trust, like we can just purchase some items here. It doesn't damage the life of the product. So the trustworthy will just increase the veracity. So the veracity is nothing but the value of the data will be good. So value is the veracity is the good, then the value will be perfect. That is, if we just give a result to a big hospital, then which has a good labs. So if it is having a good lab, then the value of the test result will be great. Like the medical result will be great, and the bills and the disease detection also will be great. So these are the 5 V's which we can just consider with the help of this hospital. So the next one is the cloud computing. So what is cloud computing? Cloud in the sense which can't be touched by us. So the thing which can't be touched by us is known as a cloud. So cloud computing, what is it? So let us just get into deep. So cloud computing is nothing but it will just provide some IT services without the infrastructure. Wait. So okay. So what is IT service? So IT service is information technology service, which is nothing but the services which were offered to the software IT parks. So basically the software people will work on some particular data to build a software or to build a program. So to build a program they need some space to store the data which they get from the sources. So they need some space for storing the software, they need some space for storing the terminals to run the codes and programs. So the place where the store is this infrastructure. So the old methods say like we can just store the data with a normal physical structures like some hard disks, or we can just say like some data centers will be provided to just store the data. So this cloud doesn't require any separate space for the hardware control units and memory units. So we can just learn until here at a particular instant, so we can just get in deep if we just learn about this later. So it doesn't keep any separate space for the hardware control units and memory units. So the IT infrastructure cost will be reduced if they use this cloud computing. So the additional features, or we can just say like the features which were provided by this cloud computing are this data backup and disaster recovery, and then email virtual desktops, and then software development and testing, and then big data analytics and customer facing web applications. So these are the things which we can just get from this cloud computing. Data backup is nothing but if we just provide some data, so we need to just get some data back, like if we just cleaning up the system, then we need to just get back some of the important files which can be used as a backup. And then disaster recovery is nothing but if by mistake the data gets removed or deleted, then the data can be recovered back with the help of this disaster recovery. And then email is nothing but the place where we put some mails and letters to the people, which is a confidential or whatever it may be is for the general purpose. And then virtual desktops is nothing but we can just perform this virtual desktop to run the codes. We can just see like now at present is this virtual desktops are much more important while conducting some lab works, or we can just say like correcting the errors in a code. So we can just consider this with the help of a virtual desktop, like just sharing the desktop or a file is known as a virtual desktop. Software development and testing is we can just say like testing of a software, and the big data analytics, and then customer facing web applications. So we will just discuss in this further years. And now this is one of the example we can just say like centralizing work with the help of a cloud computing. So here we can just see like the data from the factory, and the data which is from the workers inside the factory, and then the data which is giving the output, and all these things will be stored in this main memory, and then main memory will pass that data to this cloud memory. So from cloud memory we can just get the analytics reports and whatever it may be. We can just perform whatever the activities which are required at a place where we want. So cloud computing will just centralize the work. So this is all about the cloud computing. And if we just come into this machine learning, so learning, so what is meant by learning? Learning new things is nothing but learning something which is not well known to us. So if machine learns some new things, so learning in the sense we can just say like learning from the past experiences. So we can just also say like that. So machine will learn from the past experiences to avoid the mistakes. So machine learning is the study of the computer algorithms that improve automatically through experience and by the use of the data. So we can just say like if we just consider our data, so we had just searched for this construction, or we can just say like sim insertion to my phone in a YouTube. So if the problem is resolved, then it's fine. Otherwise, if you didn't just watch that full video in the YouTube, then the algorithm will be passed to the Google, and if you just type in the Google with the name like sim, then it will just say like sim insertion into a Samsung M30s. So basically, with the past experiences, the machine will learn to just improve the searching capacity of a user. So the Google plays a major role in this machine learning, which we can just see in our present days. So if you just click on some of the words, and the remaining sentences will be built by this machine learning computer algorithms. So this is all about machine learning. And then machine learning is an important component of growing field in a data science through the use of statistical methods, and then algorithms are trying to make classifications or predictions, uncovering key insights with the data mining projects. So these are some of the examples which we can get through this machine learning. So statistical methods and then algorithms are required for any machine to learn from the past experiences. So there should be a systematic way for a machine to work on this. So that these are all some of the methods or the algorithms or the ways by which we can just work on this machine learning. So what is data science? So data science is also a word which we might have listened these days. So data is nothing but the information, and then science is which we will just keep it aside. So the information science. So what is information and science? So let us just know. So the definition is data science is an interdisciplinary field that uses a scientific methods, process, algorithms and systems to extract the knowledge and insights from the structured and unstructured data and apply knowledge and actionable insights from data across a broad range of application domains. So let us just keep this definition aside. Here we can just see like data science and the machine learning will both play a crucial role. So they both play alternatively. We can just see like, so the data will be grabbed with the help of this data science. So we can just see like the initial data, like how to insert a SIM into a Samsung M30s. So that is the data which is grabbed with the help of this data science. So after grabbing the data with this data science, so the machine learning algorithms will work for the other websites to just get a detail about this thing. So data science and machine learning will work together to just give a better result for the user. So data science will just get the data or grab the data from the user, whereas machine learning will give a perfect output to the user whatever it is required. So the major points: capture, process, maintain, communicate and analyze. So capture is nothing but the data entry and signal reception, and process is nothing but the data mining and data modeling, and then maintain is nothing but data cleaning, data staging and data architecture. Communicate is nothing but the data reporting, decision making. Analyze is predictive analysis, text mining. So capture is data entry and signal reception, we can just know about this. So process is nothing but data mining, data modeling. So user will not use only a particular application for completing data typing, so he may just perform different applications. So data mining is nothing but grabbing all the data whichever it is required. So in this process stage, all the data will be mined, whatever it may be. So it doesn't check will this data required for the future user, whatever it may be. All the data will be mined or modeled in this process stage, and then they will be divided into some blocks. While in this maintain stage, the data gets cleaned and then data staging and data architecture. So the cleaning is nothing but some of the files gets removed if they are not used for the further purposes, and then this data architecture is storing the data in a particular manner, and then communicate is data reporting and decision making. So with the help of some of this data architectures and whatever it may be, so it will just communicate with the machine to just give a decision. So it will be helpful in making a decision, and then analyzes predictive analysis and text mining. So let us just know about this. So we can just say like these are some of the basic terms regarding artificial intelligence. We can just say like this whole world is working on this artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is nothing but an artificial human brain. Intelligence is the thing which will be existed in our brain. So artificial intelligence is nothing but an artificial brain which is invented by user in the sense the man. So the person who invented this artificial intelligence. So these are some of these basic terms which are regarding this artificial intelligence. So thank you for watching, guys. Please subscribe to Works After College.